Hey everybody, let's talk about passwords. Our keys to the digital world, those elusive things that nobody seems to remember when we want to. Whether we like them or not, passwords are our first line of defense against cyber threats. Let us start with how they work in order to understand why they are so important. In the real world, our identities are verified with some ID, a driver's license, a national identity card, or a passport. One look, and the person verifying it's you sees you're the same human in the photo, and voila. In the digital world, electronic information systems verify our identities using a unique handle, like a username or an email address, and of course, a password. This process is called authentication. When we sign up, we are asked to provide information about ourselves, including a username that says it's you and a password to prove it's you. Registration information, including passwords, gets saved in databases. In the beginning, organizations used to save passwords in clear text. This changed as cyber threats became more sophisticated and data leaks started to become more frequent and more serious. Hackers were getting our passwords not just from us people, but also from the electronic systems where they are saved. To solve this problem, organizations started encrypting our passwords and storing them as ciphertext. They use a special process called hashing. Clear text passwords are converted into ciphertext and then stored in databases. If a hacker manages to get the password, he or she will not be able to read it or use it. The good news is that hash functions are one-way algorithms. In other words, once hashed, a password cannot be decrypted. But unfortunately, there is some bad news. While hackers cannot decrypt our password, they can crack them. How, you might ask? Well, a hash function produces the same result for the same input every time. The hash output is called the digest. Also, if the input changes in any way, a single letter, the case of the letter, or even a single bit, the digest would be completely and entirely different. So all hackers need to do is guess the input, meaning the password, that produces the digest. With today's computing power, cracking passwords is relatively easy, but only if the password is weak. Hackers often use a dictionary attack where a software utilizes entries from dictionaries to guess the password. So if your password is indeed a word or based on words, then the password will be guessed or cracked, and sometimes in seconds. You might say, but wait a minute, Apple 123 is not a word in the dictionary. Once again, because computers are so powerful and fast, hackers now use special dictionaries called rainbow tables. A rainbow table can hold entries of an enormous number of combination, word, number, character combinations. One rainbow table can hold 10 terabytes or more of these combinations. To give you an idea how big this is, the Oxford Dictionary, of all its volumes of around, say, 400,000 entries, would probably be around 4 megabytes, give or take. Long story short, weak passwords based on languages will be cracked. And I also strongly advise against using passwords based on personal information such as names, dates, and so on. The reason is, hackers can also target you specifically using special dictionaries. These dictionaries are called biographical dictionaries. Because weak passwords can be cracked, organizations started introducing additional measures. As a first step, for instance, they made passwords a little harder to crack before storing them in their databases. They use a process called salting that involves adding more characters to each password before it's hashed, making it more difficult to guess. But salting protects password while resting in the database. What if a password is stolen before it gets stored? For instance, while on our computers or while in motion. This is when organizations realize they must enforce stronger password policies. While a weak password can be cracked in seconds, a hacker would need 1,000,000 years to crack a strong password. The question is, what is a strong password? One of my favorite comedians, Michael McIntyre, brilliantly describes the evolution of passwords as people adopted stronger requirements. Look it up, it's really funny and very true. A strong password is at least 9 characters long, the longer the better. It should have letters in both upper and lower cases, numbers, and special characters. The password should not have meaningful words and should not have personally identifiable information. Finally, please don't use the same password across multiple apps and systems. Use a unique password for each system. The reality and the problem is we cannot remember password. However, if you're still trying to remember your password, the chances are your passwords are weak. So please do not. Instead, you can rely on password managers. Most smartphones these days have built-in password management capability. Use it. Your phone will suggest strong passwords and store them for you, manage them for you. I will not discuss password managers in this video. However, if you'd like me to cover them in another video, please let me know in the comments section. This is it for this video. Thank you for watching.